I would like to emphasize, first of all, the process of the integration of human personality, which is the goal of Islam. This process consists in taking different values and different principles in their logical sequence, in their scientific sequence, or I might say in their natural sequence. Different ideological systems have different types of obligations placed in a different type of arrangement which they lay down for their followers. The arrangement of principles and values which Islam has given to us consists in this: to be believed that a sound mind resides in a sound body. Consequently, the first duty of a Muslim is to take care of his health. The second duty of a Muslim is to take care of his mind, of his rationality, of wisdom, of the acquisition of wisdom. Then a sound moral life is possible only for a person who is mentally normal and physically fit. I will say it might take just one more lecture if I were to expound this view as a student of medicine and as a student of psychology and of course as a student of theology, but I may inform you that a person who suffers from bad liver, for instance, from bad liver, is bound to be of irritable temperament. Now this irritability of temperament will lead him to commit all sorts of immoral actions if his immoral actions may be confined only to being harsh to others, not being sweet and humble as Islam demands. So he will be violating the moral code of Islam if he hasn't got a proper type of health. If he hasn't got a proper type of balanced mind, he cannot understand the moral problems accurately and will not be able to pursue morality accurately. So the third obligation of a Muslim is that he should build up his moral life. And it is on the basis of morality that Islam conceives spirituality. In Islam, the spiritual value is unattainable without morality. What we are doing, not only in South Africa, but all over the world, what Muslims are doing now, the confusion in which they are placed is that a person, if he prays his prayers, salat, 5 times a day, regularly and punctually, and fasts during the month of Ramadan for 30 days, and does other devotional exercises or what we might say rituals or rites, he is ipso facto a pious, properly cultivated and a perfect Muslim. This is not what the Holy Prophet ﷺ taught. He has taught that there are five foundations of Islam. Islam is the way of life that he has given. And this way of life is a whole edifice which comprehends within it all the different dimensions of life, all the different facets of life, all the different pursuits of life, whether they are social or economical or intellectual or aesthetical or economic or anything else. The Holy Prophet ﷺ says, Bunya al-Islamu ala khamsin. Islam has been founded on five things. Founded, but remember the word founded, Bunya. Islam has been founded on five things. The creed, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The obligatory prayers, the obligatory fasting during Ramadan, Zakat and Hajj. These are the five foundations. But he says that they are only the foundations of Islam and not Islam as such or Islam as a whole. Anybody can understand this thing. Even a child can understand it. That although the foundations of a building are extremely important, the foundations must be laid in order to have a particular building. But the foundations are not end in themselves. They are means to an end. They are means to the construction of a particular building. That is something which even a child can understand. So this confusion which is there among Muslims, and it is there, I mean, say nobody can hide it, that if a person prays 5 times a day, whatever may be his the value of his praying, I mean, say how sincerely he actually prays, how much actually he has communion with God, how much actually he acquires that experience which makes him highly moral and highly good for mankind. That is something different. But this thought among Muslims that this is the whole Islam, this is a violation of the teaching of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. These 5 things are the foundations of Islam, which means that a person may be very good, but if he does not build up these foundations, then he cannot be called a Muslim. It also means that if a person builds only these foundations or tries to build only these foundations and does not build the structure which has got to be built on those foundations, because building these foundations is not the purpose, is not the goal, then again he is committing a fault. It is only when the whole life is lived as a Muslim, and mind you, the word Muslim means a person who subjugates and subordinates his will and his pleasure and his comfort and his happiness entirely to the will of God. That is the meaning of the word Muslim. And as such, a person in order to be a good Muslim, a person in order to be considered a Muslim of high standard or a pious Muslim, he should demonstrate in his life fullness of life, sublimity in life, grandeur in life, from all the points of view, and not only from the point of view of certain things. If a person does not do like that, then it will be called that he is merely ritualistic. He is a ritualistic Muslim. He is giving all importance to these few rituals or rites. They are important, but he is giving all importance to them and he is not giving importance to what Islam teaches, that these are the foundations, lay these foundations as best as you can, and then on these foundations build up full life as given in the Holy Quran and in the authentic Sunnah of the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. It is not I who say this, not I have no right. I am not the founder of Islam. I am not Islam's teacher. I am only a very, very humble student of Islam and a very humble soldier of the Holy Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Nothing else. What has the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said and what has the Quran said? The Quran says, and the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam has made it clear absolutely, that if you pray just formally, accomplishing only the formalities of prayer, and without acquiring that inner experience and without being transformed from within through prayer, then you are doing an act which is just external act and it carries no value in the eyes of God. Similarly, he says about fasting, that if a Muslim fasts for 30 days, imanam wa ihtisaban, cultivating his iman or faith in God and cultivating that introspection whereby alone a person is transformed and improves his self-examination. In the effort to improve his personality through fasting, he says that if a person does not do that, then he says God has no need for his remaining hungry and for his remaining thirsty. What do the Muslims do? Am I speaking wrong here? Don't you see them? Can you tell me that you have experienced God in any of your prayers? What? What is that prayer? What for? Just a fulfillment of an obligation. All right. Carry on. It is not piety. It is not piety. Piety is building up of the Islamic personality and the Islamic social order as it has been demanded and commanded by Allah. Not just a few things that we think they are easy. This Muslim community has forgotten the obligations that were laid and has taken to very easy ways and to certain things which are actually taken by themselves have not much value. This emphasis on a particular type of dress, what has it got to do with piety? In Islam, I will say certain external symbols and trying to appear reactionary and then imposing that we are great Muslims with no achievements in life and with no contribution, and just speaking only to just a small fringe of Islam, just standing on the seashore and not taking a plunge into the sea, and the sea is Islam and these foundations are only the seashore. This is what I